I'd just keep a filter on it anyway. Yeah, we're not far from the thought police, David. When the thought police start
All
coming
right,
after us,
we're on the air right now. We're waiting on some people to get here, but for some reason it will not play our video.
well, it needs to play our video. I know the fine folks really like the video. I kind of like the video.
All righty, we're going to go ahead and get started, I guess. People will start joining us here in a few minutes.
Hello.
Hopefully. I don't know if we're on live or not. It says we're on live, but our video won't play. We're gonna hear from our sponsor just to start off with, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit. And let's hear from Norris Plumbing.
I like Norris.
Man, they can take care of all your plumbing needs. Whether you're building something new, whether you're adding on to your house, or you just got repairs that need to be done, they can handle it.
That's right.
Let's hear from them, and we'll be right back. Well, for some reason, we can't get the videos to work. We'll just have to talk about them later, Bo. But
we sure will.
Let's start up. Bo, I know a lot's happened, and we've got this. You got a report printed out. I've got one printed out, and honestly, there's nothing good on here. I'll look at all this stuff, and it's kind of scary.
Yeah,
you got a guy running around with a knife in Michigan stabbing people randomly.
Yeah, like 11 people. He's just taking out his own frustrations on people, random
evidently.
Strangers.
Okay. And then you got NASA's hair is on fire because they got 25% of their employees being cut. They're leaving by the end of the year.
Yes.
Then you got near misses. Our air traffic control is a debacle right now, and I don't know what is going on. But every week there seems to be a jet dodging another jet.
Yes.
All right. Last week it was a B-2 bomber that somebody almost flew into it.
Yeah, we've got antiquated equipment that I believe is supposed to be addressed in the big beautiful bill, but
who knows? I mean, it's going to take a while. You know how fast government works.
Oh, fast.
The speed of smell. All right. So then you got we do have some cool air coming up later this week.
That's what I've heard. I mean, we've had like
that's
30-something days in a row. It's been 90. That is great news because I can use a break. The 90-degree, I mean, I know everybody else is with me on that. That's just
it's terrible.
Yeah, I'm over it. I loved it. I like the sun shining. I'm ready for a cool breeze, a football game maybe, something like that. But no, there's been, there was something locally I know that we can mention that a grant was approved, and I know it was posted on Shelbyville now about a $300,000 grant for the river project.
So here's my question:
mile markers on there, so if you get lost on the river.
Here's my question, Bo.
Yes.
All right, we got the grant, but we have to match it with $75,000.
That's right.
All right, is what we're doing a bargain at $75,000? That's the way we need to look at these.
Yeah, that's the way we do need to look at it, and I can't answer that question because I don't know. I do know
talking about safety equipment.
Yeah, I do know that it's very needed. That on the river, we like to enjoy. We've talked about a lot about how diverse, how beautiful our Duck River is, and a lot of people get out and enjoy it. But unfortunately, events happen. You go too late. You might get out late. They'll have mile markers there where they say 7 miles. I don't know how fancy they're going to be. I don't know if they're going to be glow in the dark. I do know that they're going to have some other type of, I guess I would say, attachments to the river, like to where they can check levels in certain areas. I think that's where your expenses come in, but I have no idea. It's a great effort is what I say. Yeah. I think some locals came together. They asked for it, through the legislation. We got it, and I think that it will help our emergency folks most of all.
Yeah, if they're searching for somebody.
Yes,
or something,
but it's something to stay tuned on the details about. They announced it this like end of last week or today. So, but
and I was looking through here. Epstein file stuff. It's got another leg dropping in the Wall Street Journal today. Whitney Webb was on the Redacted with Clayton Morris, and she was talking about all the conspiracies and all the way things tie together, and all these billionaires. And Bill Gates came up again, and 2 or 3 others. Woody Allen even came up in the names on the list. So Ghislaine Maxwell met with the Justice Department, which I assume that Pam Bondi or somebody she sent down there sat down with her, and she offered up 100 names.
Yeah. She sure did.
Who are those names?
I guess
we need the list, man.
Yeah, the list. I mean, when are we going to get the list? I don't know if we'll ever get the list, and I don't know if we'll get a real list that's authentic. But I do know one thing that sounds like what was going on is this was an island, a sicko island that people were going to, and you had to be some type of, hooked up rich billionaire to get a part of it. And but there are no names and no people currently really serving time except for Ghislaine Maxwell, and she was part of a conspiracy with Epstein, which is now deceased.
Outside of our grant that we got and some cooler air coming in, everything else is bad on that sheet. All right, and we didn't pull that stuff off the sheet.
Yeah, no,
we saw that we got something local good to talk about, and hopefully some cooler air. But Bo, I'm going to ask you this question. I'm going to ask the people out there that are listening. It's scary to talk about. But you look at what's going on in the world. How close are we to World War III? Or are we headed into World War III? Or is that just a fantasy that people are talking about?
Yeah,
is it for real?
Some days you wake up and you wonder, are you in a war every day, in some type? If it's financial, if it's a social media, if it's some type of, actually there's these stabbings going on. But are we close to World War III or are we in it? It seems like there's a global conflict going on right now. I don't know if it's defined as a world war because we're thinking of World War II was the missiles and the tanks and the on the ground. No, we don't have that. But I would call this a world war tension or some type of
I think we
tension
are
leading up.
Think about it. It's just a different war. It's not like bullets and missiles, even though Russia keeps pounding Ukraine.
Yeah.
And Ukraine keeps, for some reason, they keep fighting.
Yeah.
And they keep taking our money.
Yes. No, they do. They do.
And Trump came out this morning and said Putin's got 10 days or we're going to put some big-time sanctions.
Yes.
Well, I thought we did that when it started.
Sanctions.
It's not going to make them blink. He could care less about a sanction.
They laugh at sanctions. They don't care what a sanction is. But in the East, I would say that there is an Eastern or a European type war going on now, or whatever you want to call it. There's always conflict in the Middle East.
But Bo, I'm thinking that's taking place. But what I'm getting to is it's not just bullets and missiles. We've got cyber attacks.
Oh yes.
We have mind games being played. So you got the psychological attacks.
Yes.
You've got it looks like genocide taking place in Palestine with the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip.
You've got evil, good versus evil. It's at the time. It's almost at the good versus evil. I mean, there's economic and there's this, but when you come down to the end of it, there's like we talked a little bit. There's some type of dark energy that's trying to always pull life down or positive growth down that we're constantly having to fight or war against, if you want to say. And it seems that it's never going to cease.
No, it's not.
Wars, the rumors of wars. There's earthquakes here. There's fires there. That is where we stand. But we have to stand strong as as our country here. As we stand firm in our country and in our God and our faith and our family. And here in America, I feel like there's a lot of like we see stabbings, we see a lot of mass shootings and everything, but I feel at peace here, but I do feel a international, I guess, an uneasy feeling every time because there's always some type of conflict there. Russia, I get an uneasy feeling. I wish they would just come to the table, but they do. They talk, and then whenever they hang up, Trump says apparently that Vladimir just starts shooting again.
Yeah.
And how do you deal with someone like that?
Okay,
that's the point he's at.
You got all that stuff going on. And then our president launched a nuclear trade war.
Yes.
All right. And today we got a EU settlement agreement on the table. We're going from 2.5% tariffs on products coming into the United States from the EU, which is German cars. We get a lot of cars. We get a lot of drugs. We buy a lot of stuff from Europe. Okay.
Right.
It's going up to 15%.
15%.
And I still wish Donald Trump would tell everybody and level with everybody, hey, you're paying for this.
Well,
these countries are not.
And when they present this like they did today, it was almost like a celebration. And I don't really get that. And I think he's kind of selling it like it is a celebration. Maybe he won his negotiation or something like that. But, whatever you want to say, and whatever you believe, at the end of the day, it is a tax on the American people. There's no way to cut around it. When a supply that you want from overseas comes over and you have to pay that 15%, or you don't get it, that is a tax.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to go through. And that's just with Europe. There's other ones going on.
China is back sitting down with us now in Europe. I don't know if it was in Switzerland or somewhere. They were talking about meeting today, and they got together. And I think what they're trying to do now is hash out some of the details of the agreement they just had. Well, it's a 55% tariff.
Yeah.
Okay. And those are the things that are going to really shatter everybody when they start hitting this fall.
They will. And
I've already seen it. In our business, it's hit us quick. It's already happened.
Yes, you have. And this is no secret. You've shared it with the viewers. I think that the main thing that Trump, because I've wanted to learn it, or to try to see what he's thinking, and a lot of his thought is we're gonna start producing from within, and that's great, that's wonderful, and we do have production at a certain extent, but I don't think it's going to be to the extent where we can compete with what we're getting from China now. And maybe it's going to be a slow burn. We're going to have to eat it for a while until we can build up to get to that. But how many years will that take before we can get to the production rate where
it won't be fast enough to compensate for the decline in our economy because of the tariffs.
Yes.
We can't get all these. First of all, we've got to have a workforce. Right now, the workforce is laying down.
That's what's being discounted right now.
All right. So you're going to take 5, 10, 15 years. Some of it never is coming back. Okay. There's just no way it can happen here because of our own stupidity regulations that we have.
Yes.
And that's got to lift too.
Yeah.
I ain't even heard about that. No. You got to lift a lot of this regulation.
That's exactly right.
All right. But just the numbers, the raw numbers are just not going to work out good because we're going to wait 10 years to buy these products. No, we're going to pay more for them. All right. When we have to start paying more for them, our sales are going to go down. I told you about a company just before we got on here where their sales have just dropped off the used to. We have to wait 5-6 weeks to get stuff. Oh, we can get it right out now because we don't have any orders.
Well, that is a symptom of this that we're talking about. I just don't see. I know that China's got it ready. They're ready. We've sold it. We made our decisions in the past, and here we are. But it's going to hurt short term, y'all. It's we say it about seems like every show. We love Trump. He's done a lot of great things, but this is a tax on American people. It's going to hurt, but
it's not going to be hurt short term. It's going to be hurting long term.
Yeah, but I believe
if they stay, I'm going to say prediction. We're going to start going down this tube. And when Walmart CEO came out 2 months ago and said, we got to start raising prices, I don't know if anybody's paid attention or not, but I dare you to go check prices on stuff right now.
Yeah,
you're paying for them and you're thinking, I'm getting a good deal. But if you compared them to 2 months ago, they're higher.
And we talked about that slow drip that's going up. And it may not seem like it is, but they use these ways to trick the brain to or a 76 and a 36, they can just go up a few cents before you know it, you're $1
but
too
some
more.
of them going up 12, 15, 18, 20, 40.
They are, but they're going up all around the map, and we've got to pay attention. But to your what you were saying, if we get some relief from these in the future, it would be because of the consumer.
We just can't do it.
We got not being able to do
we're going to have to. He's going to come back out one day, probably during Christmas, and say, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. Okay, let's roll back these tariffs. And he'll probably say, let's put a pause on them for 90 days. No, they just need to go away.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's a plan for him to look good in the future.
How about this? Reciprocal. I thought that
I like that idea.
You pay zero tariff. Well, we pay zero tariff on your products. You pay zero tariff on our products. And let's just trade.
What's wrong with that? I don't know why that's not even an option.
Well, the EU is not going to, the way I understand it, our products are not going to have much of a tariff at all. Maybe 1 or 2%. But we're hammering them for 15% tariffs on their stuff coming in. We're going to be paying for it. It's like it should be the other way around.
It's all about the money. And it's all about the money. It's not about helping us or giving us relief. It's about the money. And we're going to pay more money. Like I said, I've talked to people around here that are business owners. They're not excited. They're looking forward to what's happening. But they say, look, things are going up. They're going to go up. We're going to have to pay more, and we can't just eat it.
No,
we can't
eat
eat it.
I mean,
they go out of business that week.
Exactly. Yeah.
But hey, here we go and live on. We've got good news and bad news going on, but we've still got we've got in Bedford County. We've got the elections coming to look forward to in 2026. We've talked about all that fun stuff. We've got a lot of fun to look.
But back to what we were talking about, a world war does not look like what it did in World War II and World War III. I think we're already in the middle of it, and it's mainly financial.
And that's what scares me about the electronic form of currency. That really does, because when you're you think in a missile war and stuff. No, when you're thinking, if they start doing these type of attacks online, they can wipe out millions or billions of dollars in an instant. And imagine the effect that could have when you solely rely on your money being tied up electronically.
Yeah.
I mean, that right there is real, and that could happen.
Yeah.
That's why, I think gold is going up a lot right now. But that is a sense of a world war, when a war on currency could happen, a war on our power grid. There's always that sense. That's in a physical sense. But there is an uncertainty, especially in the eastern.
Our finance alley came in and says, well, it is fair to note that we didn't get to America last overnight. No, what we did is we started wanting cheap.
Yeah, we did.
We wanted a cheaper price.
We did.
And when you're paying $20, $25, $30 an hour labor versus 30 cents an hour.
Yes. The labor is the whole deal.
Like crazy.
There's nobody.
That is your difference.
There's nobody that's going to start reset at like $3, $4 an hour. And I wish that the
American workers paid higher than any worker in the world.
It is.
That's the bottom line. That's why our prices are high. It's just a fact. It's just math.
Maybe there'll be a regeneration of the worker. It's called the Great Reset. Come work for $3 an hour.
It ain't happening.
But it can happen if everything's so high, because you wouldn't be able to buy anything. You wouldn't be able to pay for your rent. You wouldn't be able to pay for this. Everything would have to reset.
So we're at a tipping point, Bo, of where something's got to give somewhere.
Yes, it does.
I mean, you and I were talking about the homeless situation still here in Bedford County.
Yes.
There are people right now living in tents.
There are.
Living in sheds behind family members' homes.
Yes.
Living in campers. Living in the driveway. Couch surfing. You ever heard that term?
Oh, yeah.
It's taking place right now because people cannot afford to pay for rent.
That's right.
Homeless they can't buy a house.
Whether you see it or not.
It's there.
We've had our issue the last couple of years where they were in the river area and some public areas. That's public areas. That's been taken care of by the police. And for the most part, that doesn't exist anymore. But that doesn't mean their families aren't taking care of maybe their own family members in their backyard. And then, like it or not, that's happening.
Yeah.
And it's happening. I know Murfreesboro is having a big issue right now with their homeless. I think it's something that's statewide, it's countywide, it's nationwide.
Right.
And it's something that we've all got to stay strong against and not enable, but love, the ones that are going through these issues. Because there are people that are temporarily homeless, but there are some people that's just the way they roll.
Yeah, I know it. It's a complicated situation we've talked about many times.
Yes.
Well, Bo, let's take a break real quick and talk about Norris Plumbing again. They have great prices.
Yes.
They give great service for just every type of plumbing need you could possibly have.
They do.
Now, I'm going to try to fire up their commercial one more time. Let's see what happens. We're going to try to play the Norris commercial to give you a picture of what they do. Let's see what happens here. Still won't work.
Well, let me tell you what they do.
They do plumbing.
Plumbing, 24-hour service.
Right.
You call Jay.
Right.
I don't have his number right here, but you can look up Norris Plumbing. You can find it. He's homegrown, born and raised right here in Bedford County, and he'll be glad to come take care of you. I know him personally, and he's a good man. He will take care.
Absolutely.
He didn't just start this, last night. His
dad and his granddad. Yeah.
This is a multi-generation business. So there's our commercial for Norris Plumbing. Check them out.
Yeah, they've got a Facebook page.
Yep.
And go visit them if you have any type of plumbing that you need.
For sure.
Well, Bo, we're going to get back on here probably Thursday.
Yes.
And see what's going on in the world.
Yep.
Hopefully we'll have some better news to look at and something good to talk about. But hopefully that cool air, maybe down into the 80s a little bit. We'll get here.
I plan on being here in a big puffer coat Thursday. So
I doubt that. But maybe just not sweating as much.
Yeah, maybe. I'll take that. That's fair.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah.
We'll be back again probably Thursday. And we appreciate you watching. Please share our video and invite